here we go. Friday night Knicks. A bunch of disappointed Knicks fans in here tonight.
Ah!
I wanted this one, fellas, man. I wanted this one, man. This is Postgame Live, #1 show for the fans, by the fans. CP from the KnicksFanTV. My man Jay Ellis from the Nick of Time show. If you're a diehard Knicks fan who loves to talk about Knicks news, Knicks rumors, and post-game live analysis featuring live callers, smash that subscribe button below and the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Special guest in the building from the Knicks Film School, our guy Jonathan Macri in the building.
What's up?
I wanted this one so badly, Macri. Talk to me, man. Talk us off the ledge, man. I wanted this one so badly, man. So badly, man. I'm tight. I'm tight right now, man.
You know, I'm usually pretty good about talking the collective fan base off the ledge, but I mean, look, it's you know, you hate to say this because it's cliche, but it's one game in it's the second game of the season where, like, I will go back to this one a lot, but it's a 15-man roster with 9 new players, and the holdovers are all relative kids. And it's like they got, you know, it's like if you're looking for signs of hope, you'll find signs of hope. If you're looking for signs of frustration after a game like tonight, you'll find your signs of frustration, and it will not be hard. I guess where I come at it is that the signs of hope are probably the if you were going to pick the signs of hope that you most want to see, you've been getting those through 2 games, and you got it tonight. And the signs of frustration, you know, and I know a lot of people accuse me of making excuses, and I probably do make a few too many excuses a lot of the time. But that being said, things like late game execution, to me, that's going to be the hardest thing to come with a roster full of new guys, and particularly guys like Randle and Morris, guys who like to engage in one-on-one play. So,
I mean, Jay Ellis, man, the emotions were there from the beginning. You know, the first game, enemy territory, battle of the city, all the storylines were there. Oh, we had a contingent of Knicks fans out there. We had the Knicks flag out there waving loud and proud. We were in the building heavy. You know, took it over. Everything was right for us. 19-point deficit, Jay Ellis. Chip away and even take the lead, man. This was a tough one, man. Give me some of your takeaways, JLs. This was tough.
Jeez, the mad scientist David Fizdale with the funky lineups that everybody killed him for kind of worked at the end, but not quite. That's what I'm getting from it. We were getting killed with the dribble penetration.
Yeah,
killed
everywhere.
Defense,
transition defense.
In
the paint, we were getting killed everywhere, man.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And I know me and other people were like, all right, Dennis Smith Jr., he's not playing well. Elbert Payton needs a blow. Put in Frank and see what happens. That's what everybody was probably thinking.
Yeah.
What does Fitz do? Leaves Frank on the bench, goes with RJ and Alonzo Trier to start the second half, and they cut into the lead using that.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. I think, you know, just going to the closing moments of the game, Macri touched on it. As this is a new team and we have a lot of new players, closing out the games and figuring out who the go-to guy is going to be is something that we're going to have to learn from. But I just feel like I understand Julius is here and he's the #1 guy de facto at this moment. I'd rather live and die with RJ making the plays, man. I can't go with the constant ISO Julius. He's too turnover prone for it, man. I'd rather
ISO Mo.
Yeah, I can't do it, man. I want to live and die with the ball in RJ's hands to make a play or to take it himself, man. I can't go with the ISO Julius, man. Can't do it.
You know, the thing about Julius is I gotta think both him, Marcus Morris, I think it was strictly a money thing. I mean, I know he talks about Philly and this and that, but I mean, look, he looked around. He's like, I got $15 million over there. I'm gonna go over there. I mean, that's the funniest part. It's like,
let's just keep it a buck.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is. And look, get yours while you can.
Yeah.
But you know, with Randle especially, I have to think he would have he had other opportunities to go to some other teams.
Yeah.
And he was told in no uncertain terms. I have no doubt that look, for the next year to 2 years, you're going to be the focal point of this offense. That's not to say that he can't grow, but I think it's going to have to be a thing where RJ is going to have to earn it. And I know a lot of people hear that and they're like, RJ's already earned it.
Right.
But, you know, it's not going to happen in a week or whatever. It's been a month since this team has been together. At some point, Julius is going to have to look at RJ and realize and internalize, like, wow, the best thing for him and me and this team is for me to start deferring more. And that's going to be, you know, listen, you blame Fizz if you want, blame whoever you want. That is on Julius. Like, he has to realize that, you know, because they ain't benching it. I mean, there's one, like 2 guys on this team, they're not benching, and he's one of them. So that has to be on him. He needs to realize that he needs to be big enough and smart enough to make that decision. And I think at some point he will, if things continue. So I'm not like apoplectic about that. But I hear you, man. I hear you.
Yeah, it's tough. Go ahead, JLs. Go ahead, Wayne.
I was saying in preseason that RJ is going to be the leader by the end of the season, and if we keep doing things like this at the end of the games, I guarantee you it's gonna be happening sooner or later than later. I mean, you can partly blame it on Fizz, because game on the line, I don't want to see Julius Randle posting from the 3-point line down.
Yeah,
like if you've seen the clips of Julius Randle on the Pelicans, all his best moments happen when he's on the move.
He's not a good post-up player.
Yeah, he's not. He's an okay post-up player. You know what it is? It's his handle. Like, it's more the handle than the post-ups. Like, he puts butter on his hands before he starts.
Yeah, he's got Charles Smith hands. I said that on Twitter, man. He's got Charles Smith hands. It's not good.
A little bit.
It's just turnover after turnover. We just need a set at the end of the game. We don't need ISO. We need an actual set. And I know it's Randle's fault for doing it, but I also, you gotta blame Fizz, give Fizz props for pulling that lineup off and bringing us back in the game, but you also gotta blame him for not having a good play to win in the end of the game.
I mean, give credit to Fizz. I think the turning point once again came at the 7-minute mark, just like it did in the Spurs game where he puts in Ellington. Ellington splashes his 3 as soon as he gets in there. Randle follows up with a 3. Another 3 by Ellington ties the game. Kyrie comes down, makes his shot. Another 3 by Ellington puts us up by 1. RJ with a 2-pointer puts us up by 2. I mean, we were there, man. We had the game in our grasp. And I think, you know, the Morris 3 was ill-advised. Morris took a 3 at, I'm just looking at the play-by-play here. Morris took a 3 at 39 seconds left. Ill-advised 3. I didn't think we needed it. And then that's when Kyrie came back and hit RJ with the step back. I mean, what can he do? He's 19. He's a rookie. It's tough. Kyrie was on his money. He's been on his money since he's got to Brooklyn. That's a tough guard. And that was basically the game, man. That was basically it.
That wasn't even the 3 that bothered me. The shot that bothered me was the shot before that, when the Knicks were kind of coming back, and then he just went ISO again. Yeah. And flanks it off the.
Morris. He killed the momentum. Yeah. Completely killed the momentum on that play.
At least that 3 was like open. That other one, I was like, dog, what are you doing? Like, pass the ball. Yeah. I mean, I love you. I love what he does because he kept us in the game with the Spurs game, but come on, man. When the game gets tight, you just don't go ISO. That's not always the answer, man.
It hurt us, man. Speaking of ISO, credit to Fizz. You know, the starting lineup experiment in the last game didn't work. Yeah. One of the adjustments that I like that Fizz did, although I thought he should have started the second half, was putting ISO in, and he gave us an immediate lift. This game would have been way out of hand if we didn't have the scoring from ISO, because our half-court offense was abysmal. We didn't get as many transition looks as we did in the Spurs game and stuff. I mean, they were literally daring everybody to shoot it. Yep. I mean, they were letting Elfrid Payton do whatever he wanted. They had no respect for anybody's jumper on that starting unit whatsoever, man. So ISO came in and did his thing and really kept us alive.
Word.
I gotta say, he might be the most, for me personally, the most frustrating player, not to figure out on this team, because he's not frustrating to figure out at all. He's actually a really easy player to understand his game and what he's good at and what he's not good at. But just in terms of if you're an organization that is like the Knicks, and you're trying to go from being I'm gonna put the first one here, a shitty organization to a respectable one, and you have a guy that you got for nothing. You literally found him on the scrap heap. Nobody wanted him, and you got him now. And he could do the things that he got to the line, and I know he didn't hit all of them. He got to the line 11 times in 23 minutes. That's James Harden stuff.
It's beautiful.
And we've seen him do stuff like this before. So you got a guy that could do this stuff. You got a guy that could put your team on his back for stretches of a game, and not in a way that's inefficient. He had 22 points on 7. I can't even say the treatment on 7 shots tonight.
22 points on 7 shots.
You have a guy like that, and it's like, do you give in? Because he has negative tendencies. His defense leaves some to be desired. He occasionally is not going to look to pass when you want him to pass. So it's like there's a give and take here, and there's a plus and minus that you have to assess. And I don't know what the right answer is there, but it's just
he has to play.
He has to play. He has to play.
The way we use him today is the way we should be using him. Bold predictions. I got 2 of my bold predictions that coming true. Second one, he was going to beat Wayne Ellington out, coming off the bench first.
Yeah.
And Wayne Ellington.
They should both play.
They should both play.
No, they should both definitely play. Yeah. But they should play exactly how it was used today. When Wayne Ellington, when we need buckets quickly and in a hurry, Wayne Ellington is a microwave.
Yeah. I think the X factor in that was RJ getting them involved.
That's true.
When they threw in RJ at the point, things settled down. I mean, Macker, you pointed out 6 steals.
Yeah,
was excellent for RJ tonight. But when he started running things started to happen. And I think the issue we're going to have all season long is you're going to have inconsistent play from the 3-point guards. Whether it's Elfrid, whether it's Frank, whether it's DSJ. I think the problem is just
they need to play to be inconsistent on the floor. And I at this point, are you really certain that how do you send Dennis Smith Jr. out on the court?
No, DSJ's not right, man. He's not right. The jumper, I think the jumper alone is killing everything. He still looks like he's laboring out there, and he's overthinking everything.
His first 2 possessions he was in the game, he shot the ball. And first 2 possessions.
And that's what daring him. That's what daring him to shoot it.
That's what daring him, and he was scared. He was scared of that jumper, man. He had no confidence in that jumper whatsoever. I thought we should have had Frank in the game early. I thought it got out of hand, especially when our perimeter defense, our transition defense was terrible. I don't know about you guys, but I don't need all 4 of the bigs playing in a game if the matchup doesn't call for it. I don't need Bobby Portis out there with Randle and with Morris out there when these guys are splashing us from downtown in transition, killing us. I need Frank. I'd rather play 4-on-5 on offense with Frank trying on defense to try to get some stops, because that was part of the problem.
Yeah, they pick and rolled us. Bobby Portis couldn't keep up. You saw as soon as Mitch was out, the rim protection was absolutely abysmal.
It was terrible.
It was so bad. Yeah. At that point, I was like, Frank, anybody? Can we get some defense? Can we try? I mean, but to Fizz's credit, we got back in the game. But I would still, I don't know, next game, Celtics, I would go Frank first guard off the bench for 5 minutes to see if he got
you need that defense. I thought Frank and Ellington should have gotten more consideration than DSJ. Well, DSJ didn't get much minutes, but Portis' minutes, his 10 minutes, I would have given to Frank off the rip. Macri, what do you think about that?
I mean, I don't. It's so early, and I feel like this is an overreaction. So I'll preface this by saying I'm acknowledging this. But a few people over the course of the game, and even I think before the game, were like, Dennis Smith Jr. should go down to the G League. And
I was thinking that. Okay, no, go ahead.
I know it's crazy. I mean, look, the Hawks, after they traded for Tim Hardaway Jr., they sent him to the G League for about half of his 3rd season. Dennis Smith Jr. right now is in his 3rd season. I know it's very different. The optics are incredibly different with him being the perceived return from the KP trade, even though
I keep talking about it.
Listen, if we're all being honest with ourselves, they made the trade for cap space. They made a bet. They lost the bet.
They lost.
It's done. The bet is over. They lost the bet. Whether or not they should have traded KP in the first place is a different story. We don't have to talk about that. Right. But look, they have the kid now. perceptions aside, try to do the best. Pretend you got him the same way you got Trier. Pretend you got him as an undrafted free agent, and act in the most responsible way to try to reclaim his career, because we are quickly approaching the point where his career needs a reclamation.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know, how crazy is that? How would he deal with that? Would he basically do the same thing he did in Dallas and basically
don't know how it's going to affect his psyche, man. Don't know how it's going to affect his psyche.
I don't know either. But he can't play, right? Because as bad as he's been on offense, he might be worse on defense. He's a turnstile. Yeah. He can't guard anybody. He's not guarding anybody.
It's hard. It was hard to watch, man. It's hard to watch, bro. Honestly, it's hard to watch, man. But you know, I think I was asking Tommy D about how teams are using the G League. Like, to me, you don't see it that often where they send guys down to get work. You know what I mean? To work on their game. I don't really see as much teams in the league doing it. Like the Hawks did with Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yeah.
It's because of the stigma, like you said, man. It's because of the stigma, and like JV, like Jonathan said, man. Like with the stigma of the G League. First of all, the way he acted in Dallas. Second of all, I don't even know if the Knicks are definitely gonna do it. They didn't even send Frank down, so I can't see them down.
Yeah, like you guys said, man. Optics, man. Optics. But I wanted that. I wanted that one, man. I wanted it. We all did. It was right in our hands, and again, you know, learning how to close. It's a good lesson for these young guys. It's a good lesson for RJ and the younger guys. But as JL said, ISO's got to get his minutes, and I need the ball in RJ's hand in crunch time. Man.
One other thing I did want to say, and again, he's going to get killed from all circles. Fizdale. I mentioned it on Twitter. He didn't put Dennis Smith Jr. back in the game, which I don't think anybody would have done. But, you know, Bobby Portis was he came into this season talking 6th man of the year, you know, this and that. He was bad in the first half. And I actually, despite the fact that he was bad, I was shocked by the fact that Fizdale did not send him back out there in the second half. Yeah. Pleasantly, I was surprised.
I was happy. I was happy.
Oh, no, of course you were happy. But through a year and 2 games, it feels like Fizz is the type of dude, or maybe I shouldn't even say that. He's gotten the reputation as someone who has his guys, and he will stick with his guys through thick and thin. And they've talked all preseason about it's not going to be like that anymore. If you do not earn your playing time, you're not going to play. And I think everybody took it with a half a grain of salt, which is like, all right, sure. The guys that you don't like won't play. Yeah. The guys that you like, they're still going to play. It didn't happen tonight because clearly Portis, I think, is a guy that the organization obviously went out and signed for a lot of money. Didn't see the court. I was happy about that. You know, how far does that go? I don't know.
I need to see him as a depth piece, not a consistent rotation piece. Because like I said, sometimes when he's out there with Morris and Julius on both ends, it's not a good fit, especially when you're going up against the Nets. They're running and gunning out there, much more athletic than we are. Yeah. They're playing small. We need to match that up. Kev needs those minutes. I need Kev 5 for 8 from the field, JLs. I need Kev out there. Kev was playing 4 for 4 from downtown. Yeah. Kevin Knox needs those minutes, man.
And you know what, too? Kevin Knox played. I liked Kevin Knox's defense tonight, and
he had a couple moments.
He had a couple of moments, and you're absolutely right, because a lot of the times on those fast breaks, it's not that Morris wasn't trying, because Morris tries on defense, but he's just not as fast as the Nets front line. So he's looking more like a power forward tonight than a small forward on defense, and that burned us with a lot of those transition baskets and transition threes.
Agreed.
Knox actually not a much better matchup in that regard, at least for tonight.
Kev was solid tonight, man. Solid tonight. I love what he gave us in his minutes, and I just wish they would get him. I mean, he played 29 minutes still, but like I said, I just hope they keep Kev involved going forward. Salute to the chat on tonight. We got 1,000 people watching on this post-game show. Once again, CP from KnicksFanTV, my man JL's from Nick of Time Show. Special guest, Jonathan Macri from the Knicks Film School. Macri, did you bring your scotch tonight, man? I brought mine out tonight, man. I need it.
I finished off a bottle of wine that I had. And
It was that hectic tonight.
I can literally show the bottle is right there on my counter. It's empty.
Yeah.
There's no more. There's no more wine tonight. A certain someone who I won't name snuck into my DMs late Wednesday and was like, "I think you imbibed a little bit too much tonight."
Oh my God.
He's a friend. He's a friend.
Yeah.
He's a
Friend of the program. Okay.
Friend of the program. If I don't know if he's watching, but if he is, he knows
Okay.
what I'm talking about. So I took it a little easier tonight, but maybe before we get off, I'll grab one. We'll see.
Yeah, man, let's do it, man. We need one tonight, man, because I wanted this win badly. Before we get to the phones real quick, let me salute to everybody in the chat, wherever you guys are watching worldwide. Salute to Knicks Nation. Tough loss for us tonight. Let me salute to the Super Chats that we got coming in. Robert Parra sent us a Super Chat. He said Trier and Knox should have brought it home late. Like I said, I like the minutes that they gave us. And again, just they have to be factors going forward. Michael Parker, salute to the chat once again, and salute to the panel. He says gloves off. Yeah, gloves off indeed.
Man.
Terry Jamar sends us a super chat. He says, peace and blessings, gentlemen. Keep up the amazing content. Thank you, Terry. Steve Stark, he says, we all come here to scrutinize our Knicks, and there's a lot to improve, but the fight was real tonight. You got to love the heart our guys displayed. I agree with that. Mason Verdicchio says, shout out to y'all. Keep grinding. Salute to Mason and welcome to the channel. And the last super chat is Will Slater. $5 super chat. Salute to Will. All right, let's hear from you guys, man. I know you guys got a lot to say. So first up, let's go to Ari. Ari from Manhattan. He's the president of the ISOZO fan club.
Yeah.
Ari, give me your thoughts on the game. Give me your thoughts on ISO tonight.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Good,
right.
man.
So, I mean, obviously, I think we all were really devastated about losing this game. You see Kevin Durant on the bench just, smirking. And then, I mean, I don't know. Now I think half the Knicks fans that said they didn't want Kyrie Irving on this team, I think tonight showed them something a little different. But, again, another moral victory. I mean, we're 0-2, but maybe we'll go 82-0 in moral victories this year. That's really doing us well. Sick and tired of these damn moral victories. I don't want a moral victory, all right? I'm tired of these moral victories, all right? I think that Julius Randle, and I remember I said it on another one of the post games. I'm telling you, man, I'm seeing shades of Tim Hardaway Jr. in a forward body. This guy, I'm telling you, he thinks – this is the problem with Julius Randle. He thinks just because he's the number one option on the Knicks doesn't mean he's a number one option. He's trying to bite off more than he can chew, and he's turning the ball over because of it. He thinks he's like a real number one option. He's not. Mm-hmm. He's not a number one option. He's a number three option. So, he needs to pipe down, sit down, relax, and that's it. And what I think about ISO, obviously, I mean, 22 points and 7 shots. The guy is straight buckets. I was very disappointed that he didn't play at the end. When you're talking about closing out a game, that guy is built for closing. Yeah. Obviously, you want to move the ball around or not, but I think put it this way, I'd much rather the ball in his hands than Julius Randle fumbling the ball and with his butterfingers all day. Yes. I'd much rather I'd much rather have in RJ's hand and then ISO on the floor as a threat, but that's what I would do. But I'm tired of these moral victories. I don't want to hear everybody say, at least we learned something good, blah 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 blah. No, we suck, we lost again, and we have to get better. That's the end of it.
Ari, man, appreciate the call, Ari. Ari was straight to the point tonight, JLs. He's tight, man. He's tight.
1, 2, 3, got out of there.
1, 2, 3. Usually the chat kills him on his points, on some of his points, but I thought he was spot on tonight. No,
it's fair, man. It's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. To be clear, man, Ari has good points. You know what it is? Ari will have 30 good points and 30 good calls, but then he'll have one epic
meltdown.
and then the chat will remember that one epic bad call for weeks. And forget that he's made 30 good calls before that.
Keeps it fresh.
Yeah, but
Facts.
that's just a Knicks fans. We only remember the last thing.
Yeah, that's true, man. That is true. Salute to Ari in the chat. Salute to everybody in the chat, wherever you guys are watching from. If you guys are new in the chat, leave us a hashtag new and let us know where you guys are checking in from. Leave your cities in the chat, and we'll be sure to shout you guys out. All right, next up, let's go to Delaware. Daniel from Delaware wants to give his takes on the game tonight.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Good. What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Good.
Doing good, man. Now, let me say first, man, I'm highly upset right now. I watched the whole game from start to beginning. I hate that we go through Julius Randle. Like I said, you pinpoint right in the head, man. Towards the end of the game, about 2 minutes left, we kept going through Julius Randle going down the post. He's trying to do something he's not. He got handled, but he got no handled. That's really how I feel about it. You know, so I'm happy we kept going through Alonzo Trier. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we dish out. And RJ Barrett, I mean, I like RJ Barrett a lot. He definitely should be the point guard of the team. You know what I'm saying? He should be the number one focus. He's a rookie. He's built for it. And, yeah, man, I just feel, you know, like I said, the other guys said it too. We're getting tired of more victories.
Yeah.
Really getting tired of more victories because they're putting more victories. You know, we're 0-2. Yeah, we doing good. Yeah, we're getting better. But damn, like we play tomorrow in New York. You know, our home game against Boston. Boston's 1-2. 0-2. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we should get a victory tomorrow, but I mean, we'll see, man.
We'll see, man.
We
Appreciate
will
the
see.
call, Daniel.
Yeah, man.
Got to take it out on Boston, man. Got it. Well, the good thing is they played tonight against Toronto. I don't know who won that game. Let me check.
I think Boston won it.
Okay, Boston did win. Boston won 112-106.
You know, he brought up a point that I didn't think that it was going to be a thing yet, but I wonder how many people are actually going to start talking about RJ being the point guard. You know, I saw, briefly, I saw Chris Herring on Twitter after the game, or I guess it was during the fourth quarter, basically say that there were several possessions where RJ was in at point guard, and it was like the Knicks were pretty close to turning it over. And I get that because I kind of felt it too, where you were like, you're walking a tightrope there on offense. And I wonder if they really believe that he could, essentially be a real point guard. And I don't think that the complementary piece, that like secondary guy is on this team right now. Right. But if they really believe long term that is the way to go, I wonder if organizationally they would make the decision like, okay, we're going to take our lumps now. Yeah. For the longer payoff. I don't know what the right answer is. I don't know if they're thinking that. I don't know if they are thinking that. Would they do that? It's just it's an interesting thing to me now.
Fizz is absolutely thinking that. I'm gonna tell you right now.
He might be.
Because if you look at the pattern of how Fizdale coaches, he puts the ball in everybody's hands, anybody new, and says go, and he just sees what happens. Yeah. And if he sees a glimpse of hope, that's like, there's something halfway competent happening. Keep going to you to see if you can develop that and go to another level. Yeah. That's kind of what he does. That's even kind of what he did with before he got with Memphis, with the Grizzlies. He was like, listen, man, you got to shoot threes. You're a big man. I know you big, but you shooting these threes. I'm going to force you to do stuff you're not used to doing and force you to grow. And I feel like RJ is going to get that same treatment because he's showing flashes of being able to play make. He's the only one who's able to give Mitch a proper lob all game.
True story.
Thank you for saying that. Yes.
True story. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be the long-term option. What I do know is that Fizz is comfortable running him at the one. He did mention in the pregame show during the San Antonio game that RJ runs the point in practice on a daily basis. And like I said, when he had the ball in his hands, he was the most effective point guard out there. I mean, Elfrid, he didn't have it tonight. He was one of the heroes in the moral victory of the San Antonio game. But tonight, literally, the Nets did not respect one thing that he was doing out there in the court. Second half, he comes in, chucks up a three in the first possession, drops his hands, and let Kyrie score a three on the other end. And that was all she wrote for Elfrid, man.
And that's the problem with Elfrid too. I mean, Elfrid came in as a defensive guy, and he's kind of checked in and out. He's one of those guys you kind of have to motivate, and maybe that'll motivate him for the next game.
He talks a good game, but that first possession or the first defensive possession, I guess,
Yes.
of the second half that prompted Fizz to call the immediate
Quick
timeout.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what, like, you know, that's the stuff that you see as a Knicks fan, and you feel like you've seen it in different form or fashion from different players for 20 years now, and that gets you asking the questions that you don't want to ask. Like, why is it when guys come here that they feel like it's okay to give that shot up?
Yeah.
And listen, I hope it was a brain fart, and that's all it was. But yeah, not his best. Not his best night.
Not his best outing at all, man. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up for you boys. It's the best way to support us. Like, share, and subscribe to the channels. Salute to Kevon. He sends us a super chat, and he's down on Fizz, man. He says we're gonna wait till we 2-18 to admit that Fizz is not a good coach. Shout out to Carlos Martinez checking in from Perth, Australia. We got Australia in the building.
Wow, what time is it in Australia? That's what I want.
They're in. It's probably about midday over there, man. They got home court advantage right now.
Okay.
They got a whole day ahead of them.
Yeah. They're still up.
They're still up. They're still up at it.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Salute to everybody who put a hashtag new in there as well. JL, so you want to shout out in your chats?
Yo, I want to shout out Ricardo Custer. They call me Tack. I see you, boy. Thanks for supporting. Candy X, CA, Brooklyn, Charlie, Johnny, More Cash. Can't I borrow a dollar? Young Simba. What's up, Young Simba? Over here, regular.
Young Simba.
Leaks got a week. It's full tonight. Full party. Peter Dollar. Everybody. Shout out to everybody.
Shout out to NSB Turan. He's a Turk, but he hails from Germany. He says it's 5 a.m. in Germany. We got Ryan O'Sullivan checking in from Wales. 4 a.m. in Wales. And they're talking Knicks basketball, man. Brian Sharks checking in from El Segundo. How you doing, Brian?
It's great.
Yeah, man. We're worldwide, Macri, man. We got people tuning in from all over.
That's fantastic. This is awesome.
Yeah, man. Beautiful thing. Shout out to Julio Martinez checking in from Syracuse. Go ahead, Jails.
Oh, Tack. Oh, they call me Tack. Said to Macri that they don't hold Fizz doesn't hold anybody accountable. That's what he wanted to tell you.
No. I mean, I think like we talked about before, he was better at it tonight with Portis and DSJ. But this is just me. I think it's a different conversation when you're talking about the perceived number one guy, and it was a tough thing with
Randle,
with Tim Hardaway Jr. But which I think Ari made that comparison to, Randle to Timmy. It's like when you're the number one and you're talking like you're the number one guy and you're talking like you want to be the leader, it's tough for a coach I have to think at least, it's tough. Like you have to build up so much currency as a coach to be able to take that guy and be like, you know what? You ain't got it tonight. I'm sorry. Right. And I don't think that he has that kind of currency yet. Maybe he gets there with this team. We'll see. The only thing I will say in defense, Randle played pretty good defense tonight. The Knicks went. There was almost a 9-minute stretch in the fourth quarter where the Knicks only gave up 4 points, and Randle was out there the whole time. And
there was no Mitch.
He was flying around on defense, and that. Look, I'm not trying to say the team is better defensively without Mitch there. I think they were feeling it and he went with it. But the fact that they had Randle in at the 5 essentially during that whole time defensively, and they were quicker, they were getting out on 3-point shooters, and you have to, for as much as you want to kill Randle on one end, you have to at least give him some credit for what he was doing at the other. And how many times do we see guys, especially on the Knicks over the years, when their offensive game is going poorly,
quit on the other end.
The other end, exactly. And Randle, again, I'm not defending him offensively. A god-awful night, but he didn't let it.
Didn't completely bail. Didn't completely bail. I hear you. Yeah. I mean, psychologically, it's got to be hard. I'm sure when he signed, these guys are in his ear like, "This is your team. You got to be the guy." Sure. Boom, 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 and he wants it. You can tell he wants that responsibility. It's a learn again. I hope it's just a learning experience for him.
And you know what? No one else wanted it. So no, serious. Look, no one else wanted it. He wanted it.
Right.
So,
gotta give him props. And to be fair too, I feel like even preseason into the one game he had, I feel like he's been getting his hands on loose balls. He's been rotating. I feel like he's been solid defensively all season. So I can't even front. Like he's that's the thing I was worried about getting in here during free agency. Like defensively, what is he going to do for us? But he's been solid.
Yeah, he's been fairly decent, man. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Salute to Sean O'Sullivan checking in from Melbourne, Australia. And we got P Styles checking in from London, man. We're global tonight.
Are you guys advertising in Australia?
Yo, every show, man, we get a ton of people from Australia, man. Ton.
Australia, you got the UK.
Yeah, ton of people, man. Ton of people.
Absolutely.
So keep those thumbs up, those like buttons coming in. Next call up, speaking of international, Macri, let's go to the Bronx.
Hey.
Max from the
Love it.
Bronx in the building. He's the president of the Frank Ntilikina fan club, and I have a feeling he has something to say tonight. Max,
We know where this is going.
Yeah, we know where this
do
is
it.
going. Max,
Let's do it.
Max, your go, man.
CPJL is Jonathan Macri. What's good? How you
What's
guys
going on,
doing
man?
on this wonderful bad coaching night? Okay, so let's talk about it, right? So,
All right.
I'm like a logical guy, right? So I like
Right.
logic. I like 1 + 1 = 2, 2 + 2 = 4, right? So if
Let's
Dennis Smith doesn't look like he could play basketball right now, I don't know why you let him go through it for a 12-0 run. Wouldn't a smart coach know that? But, all right, let's forget that part, right? Because they came back. How many times does this have to happen where you have no plays down the stretch? It's not ISO. This is the difference between a good coach and a bad coach. You have plays. You execute plays. You don't have people who can't dribble doing ISOs and stuff. Julius Randle is a good player, but he is a finisher. That means you get him in a position to finish
Yes.
and not have to do all kinds of things. He's not
Melo.
He's not Durant. He's not. What are you crossing behind your legs doing spin moves for? Either finish or give up the ball. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the Knicks have. Listen, Kevin Knox was, as much as we praise R.J. Barrett, Kevin Knox is a 20-point per game scorer if you treat him right. If you have a good coach, he's an easy 20-point per game scorer. This guy, Jay, looks way better than last year. So
Yeah.
how many shots did he get in the fourth quarter? Does anyone know? Oh, I know. 0. Nothing. Nada. But I know that, right? So I'm watching from TV, so I know that. So Fitz doesn't know that RJ is 4 from 4 or 5 from 5 from the field, and you don't get him a shot. You don't know that as a coach? How do you not know that? I don't understand. Like, this guy is like, he has to go. I don't like to fire people because I'm not into firing people, but it's like basic logic that any good coach would have. He doesn't execute. He's like, on the postgame thing, he said, we don't know. Every night it might be a different guy. What? What are you talking about? What are you saying? What are you talking about? You don't have plays? You never execute plays? Have you ever seen him execute a play out of timeout? Have you ever seen him do that?
That is a
Has
weakness.
that ever happened?
Yes.
It's tough.
That's a weakness. Let me say this. I agree with you. I agree with you that the play calling down the stretch
Bad.
left a bit to be desired. The only thing I will say is that they were, as a team, they were 17 for 25 from 3 tonight, and you don't like it's not possible to be 17 to 25 from 3 without running some plays to get, because a lot of those were open looks, and that's
Right.
That is a function of play calling, even though it doesn't. You know what it is with Fizz? Here's the thing. It doesn't look like it because his offense looks nothing like the Warriors teams that we've become accustomed to, or even this Nets team. Like you saw watching the Nets tonight, there's a lot of movement, there was a lot of running around, all that kind of stuff. With him, it's much more like mismatch. I want to say mismatchup based. Is that a term? Where someone draws attention and then it opens a window
Moves
and
around.
You rely on the guy to make a pass. I mean, but late game, it's like you gotta have. I mean, they scored 26 points in the first 8 minutes of 8 minutes and 20 seconds of the fourth quarter, and they obviously scored 0 points.
Yeah, went into a sick drought. Another drought.
In the last 340. So it's like you're doing something right if you could score 26 points in 8 minutes on the road in the fourth quarter, but you're doing something wrong if you can't get a bucket in the last 4 minutes. I mean, I guess that's I'm kind of splitting the baby.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like he doesn't, like he said, he doesn't use those plays at the end of game situations. Young Simba, shout out to Young Simba. He said, Wayne Ellington bailed us out a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, he did. Hell yeah, Ellington definitely earned his minutes tonight, no doubt about it.
Yeah, man. Screen the 3-point line, turn, shoot, fire, bam. Like
But that's why they got him.
That is why they got him exactly.
But
and I said over the summer, I thought he would. I thought he maybe would and should start. I don't think they're going to go that way, but yeah.
Because the thing with him is if he's not shooting well, he doesn't give you anything else. But then when he's on, he's on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed, man. Shout out to Terry in the chat. Terry and Trey were at the game. Terry, call in if you can, man. Let me I want to hear what the vibes were like in the Barclays Center. If anybody was at the game, call us up and let us know. Let's go to Baltimore. Ron from Baltimore. He wants to talk about RJ tonight. Ron,
Okay.
how you feeling, bro?
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No doubt, man.
What's up, man?
Yeah, 26 turnovers, 12 missed free throws. If we make half our free throws, we win. But
how about all the traveling, man?
Barrett,
I've
to me,
seen more travels called in the last 2 games than I couldn't even tell you, man. They are on it with the traveling. But the refs overall, I couldn't stand them tonight. I couldn't stand the refs tonight at all.
Yeah, they inserted themselves way too much. But RJ Barrett, to me, guys, the stats don't do justice. You look at his box score, it doesn't tell the whole story. He controlled the game for about 15 to 20 minutes in the second half.
Yep.
And like you guys have hit it all night, to me, I counted 4 turnovers in the last 5 possessions. To me, RJ Barrett, it's got to go through him.
That's what I said.
Let him make the decision.
Yep.
And to Morris and Randle, the guy that you just had on, the caller before me, he's right. Randle's a finisher.
Mm-hmm.
You got to move the ball. You're not an ISO guy in the perimeter. Same thing with Morris. I'm not saying that I don't like Morris because he's a bruiser, but to me, he should not be the one where you give the ball at the end of the game. The only guys on this team that can ISO is ISO and RJ.
Yeah.
And to me, RJ Barrett, I think it's a crime that he didn't get any shots late in that game because he deserved to.
Well,
That's
it's becoming a
just my
trend. Start. 2 games in.
Yeah.
You're starting to see that.
He had the one. I think he had the one drive where he missed in the. I'm trying to recall. It was during the last. I want to say maybe with about 5 minutes left, 4 minutes left, something like that. I agree. You gotta put the ball in his hands, but but at the same time, you need. That's why it's so annoying. You need. If they had one more guy, I mean, I actually, you know what? The guy that I'm about to describe is Alonzo Trier. And wouldn't you know, by the way, who made the best pass of the night? It was, I don't know if you remember, it was Trier curling around. He did kind of like the Steve Nash, curled around under the basket.
Caught him in the corner.
And yes, who did he hit in the corner?
Peyton. He hit Peyton in the corner and he hit the 3.
Yeah.
That was the pass. That was the pass of the night. Might have been the pass of the season so far. He has that in him. There theoretically, I can't believe I'm saying this. There theoretically should be enough ball handling between the 2 of them that you could have those 2 guys
out there
as your backcourt, and which is why, like, for everybody who was killing Fizz for the decision to start them 2 together on Wednesday night, I got it. Yeah, I mean,
I wasn't so ready to just immediately switch, even though Peyton had the best game. I just think maybe ISO, maybe he was just nerves, or he just didn't have it going. But it was the first game. Let it rock for the second one and see how it goes. I mean, the minute I saw, I mean, listen, Kyrie's a whole different animal, right? But the minute I saw Peyton, when he wasn't really that effective on the defensive end, I was ready to roll with somebody else, man, to be completely honest with you. He just didn't have it.
Do you go back to it now?
What, to Alonzo Trier? Absolutely. Trier, we have nothing to lose.
Well, it took me to start?
Yeah, we have nothing to lose in that regard, man. We got off to a lousy start. And when it bogs down in the half court, Peyton, I'm telling you, man, they do not care what this guy does, man. They will turn their back on him.
He's a more willing passer, and he's a good passer.
Yeah.
He rebounds. I know we weren't thrilled with his defense was actually pretty good at times tonight. I know you're playing 4-on-5 on offense, but God, I don't know. God, you wish Trier would just give a little bit more on the other end.
Yeah, and that's why I really didn't kill Fizz when he pulled the RJ Trier move. Like because I think he's thinking that, you know what, these guys can't shoot on my team, right? Like let's keep it a buck. There's guys on this team who can't shoot.
My team can't shoot. That's easy. You should get a T-shirt that says my team.
We cannot shoot, man.
Like let's be real, right?
We cannot shoot, man.
There's guys on this team who can't shoot, and there's guys on the team who can shoot, but they can't dribble, right?
It's like one extreme to the next, man.
Yeah, right. So you figure. Going back to last season when I was kind of scouting ISO. One of the things that said on the scouting report was he's not a willing passer, but when he's willing to pass, he's actually a pretty good passer.
Yeah, you're right.
So you figure Coach Fitz is like, all right, I know he can shoot, and he'll be able to shoot this year. So maybe I'll just coach him into passing, and then something can happen.
Well, listen, they're trying to shed it. You heard Fizz come out, and he said he doesn't want to be called ISO no more, blah, 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 blah. And ISO's come out. He said, listen, I know how to pass. People try to, pigeonhole me into this ISO role, but I'm much more than that. I say roll the dice with it, give him a chance, man, because DSJ for sure does not have it. That was my pick going into it. And, whether they give it to Elfrid or not, I don't really care if Peyton's in there or not, to be honest with you.
If they're gonna go with it though, like decide. I know Fizz is already talking about it may be different the next game and this and that, and to a certain extent, that's fine because the team is so new and there's so many new faces and new parts and everything, and they only played 4 preseason games and training camp was only 3 weeks long. I get all of that. Right. At some point, you have to
lock it in.
You have to lock it in.
You gotta lock it in.
I don't know when is the arbitrary deadline to do that? Is it next week? Is it in 2 weeks? I don't know. But if that's what they want to go with, fine. Just go with it and see. And theoretically, it should work, especially if you have Mitch back there on defense to make up for the fact that you don't necessarily have a
perimeter.
Great, perimeter.
Agreed. All right, back to the phones. Let's go to my guy Q from Brooklyn. Wants to share his thoughts on Fizz. Q, how you doing, man?
What's good, fellas?
Good, man. How you feeling, Q? How you feeling tonight, man?
We always want to win. You know what I mean? It seems like when we lose, we just feel so bad, which is righteous. But at the same time, I'm gonna give Fizz 10 games, man. I'm gonna give him 10 games,
10,
and then I'm gonna start really getting on him on the coaching.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because let's think about it. Let's think about it with the coaching. Trier, I feel you, CP, on the Trier thing, because, if ISO says he's a guy that's going to pass, then okay, show that. But 6-man, he does better than anybody on the team.
Of course.
RJ is the best guy setting everybody up.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Peyton, he's solid as a point guard, but he has no IQ. And he's brainless out there sometimes. Knox should get a little bit more time. But he's terrible on defense. Trier, terrible on defense. So it's tough for Fizz. But he's got to realize that some of these roles are already defined. Wayne Ellington needs to come in and be a specialist. Let's just be serious.
Yeah.
There was one point in the game he didn't even touch the ball.
True.
And I was like, why is he out there? And then what? 5 minutes later, he hits a number of threes. So
goes crazy.
If Fizz can work that in a little better, he'll be fine. He needs to do what coaches do. On the road, let's experiment. On the road, let's play our guns. At home, let's play everybody. Let's get everybody into it. Young players are far more confident at home. So once we get at the Garden, let's see how Fizz responds with his coaching, because I'm getting nervous with him. But like I said, I'm going to give him 10 games.
All right. Appreciate the call, Q.
Fair.
Hey, man.
The guy's like an analyst, man. He's like a Silicon Valley.
Hey, man, listen, the people are not, they are not patient with Fizz, man.
No, I think what he's saying is give him 10 games to kind of screw around with this thing. Which, myself, That's the tough part with this season is they're, and I've talked about this on my podcast. Their first, I want to say it's 11 or 12 games maybe, are games that I'm looking at the schedule right now. It's like, okay, I could see some wins in there, and then just starting. I know it's exactly when it starts. It's Wednesday, November 20th against in Philadelphia. And from that point forward, you just
straight
look down
through
the
January.
list.
Tough.
It is straight through the middle of January.
Yep.
And it just does not let up, and it does not stop. So even if you give him 10 games or 12 games, it's like, all right, well, we're 3-9, but we figured it out. And what's our reward? This unholy gauntlet that we now have to deal with. But listen, it's there's only 30 of these jobs available, and he has one of them. So you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Got to figure it out, man. Absolutely appreciate the call, Q. So to everybody in the chat, once again, we have we're at about 1,200 on KnicksFanTV watching. That's on YouTube alone. If you guys are watching on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Periscope, salute to you guys. Hit that thumbs up for you boys. Share these videos. Very important to share these videos. We need the support. All the fans around the world, man. If you share these videos on your social media channels, it brings more good people into the chat, brings more people onto the phones, and that's just what makes the show, man. You guys make the show, so your support is truly appreciated as well as necessary. All right, let's go back to the phones. Man, we got a ton of callers. My man Dave, KnicksFanTV Dave can't even catch up on the switchboard, man. We got calls unscreened right now. We got so many people calling in. Okay, let's go to Long Island. That's our hood, Macri. Let's go to Raleigh from Long Island. Wants to talk about the game. Raleigh, how you feeling?
It's Rolly. What's going on, fellas?
Rolly, how you feeling?
What's going on, man?
What's going on, fellas? You know what the one thing New York sports fans have that's their concerns right now with all their teams?
What?
It's the coaching. Whether it's the Giants, Yankees, and the Knicks. It's the coaching is getting every fan's worried, and rightfully so. I mean, down the stretch, I feel like Alonzo Trier should have been in the lineup. I mean, we were struggling we were up 3 points. We were struggling to score a basket. We didn't score a point with 3 minutes left.
We went into a drought with about 3-4 minutes left.
Yeah. Can I give a theory actually on that?
Yeah, Macri, go ahead on that.
Just really quick theory. I think my guess is Fizz thought that they would set it up so that Kyrie would switch and make sure that Trier ended up on Kyrie on every possession, and I think he thought that would have. My guess is that he thought that would have been depth. That's just my 2 cents.
I got it. I got that. But you know what? We had the momentum. We took the lead. My thing is, it's like we get the rebound, then we're trying to set the play up. Nah. Just keep on pushing the ball, put some pressure on that defense. And we weren't doing that. We just kept on stopping, taking our time, to take some time off the clock.
And at this early stage, that is our strength, man. That is our strength. Running and gunning. That's our strength right now.
Yeah, we got to keep on pushing, put the pressure on the defense.
Yeah.
And that's where coaching comes in. Fizdale's got to let his guys do that. And my thing is, down the stretch, Alonzo Trier should have been in that lineup. Well, I know Ellington, brought us back and, helped us get the lead. But we have problems scoring the points.
Yeah.
But you have to have Alonzo Trier that was playing really well. Have Barrett at the point, Trier, you have Ellington, you have Morris, and then you have more, what's his name? Shit. The dude that fucked up with the...
Randle.
Randle, which, we've seen it in preseason. He always wants to do the ISO ball. He's not that player. He is not, and Fizdale needs to figure that out. He is not that player. He's a good player, but he ain't the guy to close the game. We don't have anybody, but you know what? I'd rather see it in the hands of Alonzo Trier, Barrett, or Ellington, which was on fire. Have those guys there. This is where coaching comes into play, and something has to get done, man. Fizdale, I know the last caller was saying 10 games, man. Man, I'm done. I'm done with giving coaches extra games and shit like that. Whether it's the Knicks, Yankees, and Giants, man, I'm sick of it.
It's hard out here for us, man.
You guys are laughing though. Think about it. Are these head coaches the right guy to build our team to help these young guys excel? Think about it.
See, I think and appreciate the call. Go ahead, Jails.
And somebody called on show and said this same thing. It's like it's hard to blow it up at this point because you don't want to just. It's a sign of instability.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing none of that with Fitz. No. I'm evaluating Fitz when his contract is over. I want him here until this thing is done. And we put more pieces. But with basketball, man, a lot of it is the talent too, man. We need the talent to help this coach, man. But also Fizz has to, show that he can make the proper adjustments and put his players in the right positions to succeed for sure.
Just get some those guys in there.
and on that note, I don't think it's a little bit of a chicken and the egg conversation in terms of looking at this franchise over the last 20 years. Obviously, only since Jeff Van Gundy said that he was out, only one coach has been here for longer than 2 seasons. And it's like we've seen now, again, for not to get too big picture, but we've seen for 2 decades, guys come to this franchise and there is a clear lack of urgency or lack of accountability, lack of whatever you want to say that they have when they go to other places. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that, like, well, you know what, who's going to hold me accountable? Because if the coach always has 1 foot out the door or he's 1 step away from being kicked out the door. Well, as a player, you're not going to do the little things that are required of you. Mm-hmm. And I think the one underrated thing that this organization has going for it, finally, for the first time in a long time, is that GM, president, coach are all in lockstep.
Yep.
And if the guys on this team, and there's talent on this team, if the guys know, look, these guys are going to be here for a while, and so if I want to succeed, I gotta do what I gotta do, even if it's hard. That's why I agree with you. I completely agree with you, JLS. You got to give him this year. You got to give him next year.
Got to give him time, man. JLS, me and you have been talking about this past couple times. Right now in the early stage, it seems like we're getting it right with RJ. Early, still has to, put his, get his weaknesses up and stay healthy. Right now, it seems like we have it right. We need to keep the foundation properly in place with him. All right. There's 3 sides to the story with the KP thing, as Macri alluded to earlier. For one, he's gone, and there's a reason why he's gone. You know what I mean? You can point to a lot of things, but certainly one of those things was the instability and the incompetence at the top. Mm-hmm. We know that. So to me, and like I said, nowadays these kids they'll hit the high road as soon as adversity hits. We have to make sure that this kid, we properly build with him, put the complementary pieces around him, and keep the foundation around him stable.
Please, because we got something with RJ.
We have something, man.
With all this is going on, and with the close losses and the fifth, we have something with RJ. He's wanted to be a Knicks since he was a kid. You've seen him with the little picture with the Knicks cat low, like he's gonna rep for us if we treat him right and if we stay stable. So I want to get this right.
Got to get it right.
I don't want to be unstable. Yeah. Anything, we need to hire another assistant who can, draw up some plays at the end while Fizz remains the motivational speaker. If we gotta do that, that's what we gotta do. Damn it, we need to keep this thing consistent.
True indeed, man. Yeah. True indeed. Let me get where's Terry? Terry. Oh, let me get Terry in here. Terry was at the game. Salute to my guy Terry. What's going on, bro?
What's up, guys? Got the dream team out tonight.
Dream team in the building. You already know, man. You already know.
Love it. So I'm back from Berkeley with no voice. I gotta say that experience was crazy. I know a lot of Knicks fans have been hating, kind of, on what if it's a rivalry, if it's not. It is gonna be one. You can tell being there that it's a thing. It's going to grow, and rivalries and things happen with moments, right? So tonight you have Kyrie hitting RJ with the Steph Curry Game 7 shot, basically. Mm-hmm. That's a moment that is now, like, if this is chapter 1, it's chapter 1. And you can see, even with how it got a little testy with Bobby and DeAndre and Marcus, etc., this is going to grow. It's going to be a thing, and it's not a bad thing. Like, being there as even a basketball fan, but someone from New York and a Knicks fan, it was fun back and forth with both of us. They were chanting, we were chanting. It will be a thing, and it will be good for the city overall. Now to the Knicks. So one thing I want to say is I go back a year ago and we lose a close game in Brooklyn a year ago. Karis LeVert drives on Timmy, finishes at the cup, and Fizz goes in the post game talking about, Frank was on the court that game. I remember that, and Fizz goes talking about, I wanted, Timmy needs to learn what this is. I wanted to challenge him, and Fizz seems to kind of get carried away with the idea that he's going to mold guys into these things they're not. Like, he sees someone do something a little bit interesting, and then he goes all the way in on it. Oh, I love it, Julius. Point forward. I love it. Let's kill the game. And at the game, at Barclays, the screaming for Randle to pass the ball at the end from Knicks fans was insane. It reminded me of the late Melo years, where you were just
there was a lot of a lot of moaning and groaning in there for him to pass the ball.
You get a lot of moaning, right? Because we're knowledgeable fans, and it genuinely felt like this is gonna be deja vu again.
Yeah.
Kevin Knox goes 4 for 4. Kevin's jumper is legit, and I got to give him all the props. He's hitting contested threes. It's incredible. He's 4 for 4, and he doesn't shoot again in the last 8 minutes. And Crazy. I feel with Fizz, man, and I haven't seen Fizz's post game, so I don't know if you said anything about this, but I really need to see him disciplining guys and not letting things just get out of hand. To me, I just can't imagine on a more mature team with a more mature coach, Julius Randle, being allowed to do that over and over. And I understand that the plays broke down at times, so it wasn't just all Julius trying to do something. But we really boxed that game. At the point that we were up 3, we had multiple chances to just get something going.
Yeah.
We just couldn't get it going, and eventually you just knew the Nets were going to score. They had botched a couple possessions, and when Kyrie came down that last time, when he ISO'd on RJ, it was incredible. It felt like a moment. The whole, everyone stood up in the arena. Knicks fans were trying to chant defense. The Brooklyn fans were trying to drown them out. It was a great moment. But you knew it was going to happen after we didn't execute time and time again down the stretch.
Yeah.
Still some positive signs. RJ, I really, I try not to buy into hype, but he feels like the one. And rebuilds usually, they tend to struggle till you get that guy. With the Hawks, once you get Trae Young, it changes everything. It changes the timeline. It changes what you want to do. RJ, it's early, but it really feels like he could be this guy, and we're gonna really know really soon, I think, because at this point he's looking way ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, there was legit debate on if RJ should start from all of us smart people, and the idea that was even a debate seems crazy now, considering how he started the year.
True story.
He has the mentality.
I was captain of that bandwagon.
Yeah, you were captain of the bench bandwagon, Macri? I know Alan Hahn was. When we had Hahn on, he was definitely in.
Me too.
If I do this for 20 years, I don't know if I'll ever take that bad. My God.
I just said, listen, man, he looks like he's ready. He's number 3 pick of the draft. We have nothing to lose. Roll the dice.
He's the best player on the team.
He's the best player on the team.
He's legit the best player on the team. To the fact, what do the minutes look like? I think he has.
He had 36 tonight, man. 30. How you guys feel about that? How you guys feel about the minutes so far?
I don't
with
care.
RJ. You say go for it.
I'm worried about tomorrow.
Yeah, because we're going to the game tomorrow.
Yeah, like somebody has to play point guard besides Elfrid Payton tomorrow.
Well,
and it was I can't imagine him playing RJ again 30-something minutes on a back-to-back. Like somebody has to be able to dribble, pass, and shoot tomorrow.
Man,
besides, like he needs help.
Where is DSJ, man? Where is DSJ, bro?
Probably in a bar right now.
Yeah. Let's go to Akil from New York. He wants to talk about Randle and the rotations. Akil, how you doing, man?
Yo, what's the word, fellas? How y'all doing tonight, man?
Good. Yo, JL, so I'm gonna let you take the reins. I'm gonna just step away for 1 second.
All right,
go ahead, Akil. Go ahead.
All right, yo, man. Yo, first of all, I just wanted to say, man, yo, if Bobby Portis gets any more minutes, I might have to just. I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. I can't deal with it no more, man. Yo, this dude is ISO. Every time he gets the ball, he wants to ISO, and then he don't play no defense coming on the other side of the court. Like, and then Fitz is not taking him out, yo. Like, I don't understand. I'm sitting on my couch eating a bag of Doritos, and I can see it from all the way over here, man. Yo, take him out the game, bro. Like, I don't understand. And like, man, yo, my son Knox is 4 for 4, and he don't. You can't draw him. You can't draw him one play, bro. You can't draw him a single play. Like you can't draw him one play. Like somebody called earlier and said, have you ever seen him execute a play out of a timeout? Yo, my son can't get one play, bro. Not one.
That was
and
rough.
why are we Randle is 5 for 15, bro. Why are we had Ellington come in and score 2 quick threes, and then for the last play of the game, we're featuring Randle in the post when that hasn't worked for us all night? Yo, man, it's frustrating, man. I'm gonna try to keep it PG, but yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. Like this is getting ridiculous, man. And I'm not one to quick to fire coaches and all that, but it's like, yo, if I'm sitting on the couch and I can see all this stuff, and Fizdale probably knows a million times more about basketball than me, like what is going on?
Let me shoot for some bail.
Like, come on, man.
It's simple,
yo. Like it seems. Yeah, and why is ISO not back in the game, yo? It's just like some of the stuff is like so common sense, man. I don't understand what's going on through his head.
Let me shoot for a little bit of bail, just a tad bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Bobby Portis, right? He didn't play that many minutes. I'll start right there. Fizz took him out pretty quickly. He only played 9 minutes and 56 seconds. He didn't even get to the 10-minute mark. All right. So Fizz obviously noticed something and took him out. I do, however, agree with the Randle assessment. Everybody agrees with Randle's assessment. He should not be isolating the ball. Hopefully it doesn't take him. It takes him less than 2 games to realize that, because it seems like, it's different from last year. He's figuring things out faster, or maybe he's actually trying to win this year, and everybody's on a shorter leash. So maybe he will actually have a guard handle the ball in the last moments of the game. For the first time. Hopefully.
Yeah, listen, it's like I say, man, it's still early, and I hope these are growing pains that they'll learn from. It's a lot of moving parts, a lot of pieces, and 2 close games, 2 tough finishes, and hopefully they can learn from it.
I know I said earlier that Trier was like my most confusing guy in terms of what they do with him as an organization. I think Portis might be number 2, just because I know we haven't seen a whole lot of it yet. He's clearly a talented player. Yeah. He's just almost is a 6'11" guy that could knock down threes. I know he hasn't hit one yet this season. And he can pass. He had 5 assists against San Antonio. We didn't see that tonight, obviously. Mm-hmm. He has a bit of a post-up game. He has a little bit of a handle. He is theoretically there is a defense out there that he could play in where he is not a complete and total disaster, one that switches a lot and has like 3 or 4 other really good guys. And I know I'm not completely crazy, because there were good organizations that wanted that guy this summer.
Yeah.
The Clippers wanted him. I think there was one other organization that I remember was reported that I was like, that's a good team. Mm-hmm. What do they do here? Do they invest the time? Because there's a part of me that is not completely convinced if they knew they were getting Marcus Morris the whole way that they would have still signed Bobby Portis. So from that perspective, that's the other kind of interesting situation. Trier, Portis, and Dennis Smith Jr. for the reasons that we already discussed. Those 3 situations I think are going to be the ones that I'm going to be paying attention to how they do.
I just don't see the need for him to get constant minutes with Morris and Randle already there, to be honest with you. And even playing together. Like, I just don't see the need for him to get those minutes. I'd much rather split those out with Kev. Like I said, Frank should have gotten some minutes tonight to help defend the perimeter. And I just feel like Portis is just a redundant piece. I don't really feel like we need him out there. JLs, what do you think?
I'm not all the way out on him yet. Like, I'm trying to be like, see what he does, new team, new system, see what happens. He's gotten better from 3 every season, and I think he got close to 40% last season.
He was 40% with Washington.
Yeah, he was 40%. Yeah,
40% last season. So I just want to wait to see if things click for him, and then at least can be a good situational piece at bare minimum. But I want it. The defense though is really concerned.
Yeah. And that's why I say it really just depends on the matchups we're looking at. Tonight wasn't his night, and that's why I think Fizz kept him out.
Yeah.
That's why I think Fizz kept him out.
It might be better to do Marcus Morris had the power for it more often.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to get that, because the one thing that's been through 2 games, and I think we're going to see it all year, is he's always going to have one of Randle or Morris in the game.
Right.
So I feel like he's been subbing in Knox for Morris and then subbing in Morris for Randle.
Mm-hmm.
And that I think that's probably going to be a fairly, a consistent thing from here on in.
I hear that, man. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. 1,200 strong on the KnicksFanTV channel. Salute to everybody. If you guys are new in the chat, once again, leave us with the hashtag new so we can shout you guys out. Let's shout out some super chats that came in. Some dude sent us a super chat. His name is Some Dude on YouTube. His name is literally Some Dude. He says, up and down, but you got to love that the guys didn't quit. Hey, we were down by 19. Certainly a fair point. We had the lead, and we just let it slip away. One Young Bale says, CP, salute to you and Jay Ellis. I know I'm in enemy territory, but I had to show some love. Glad my Nets got the W. We got a Nets fan shooting us a super chat, Jay Ellis. That's respect, man. Appreciate it. Much appreciated.
Congratulations.
Much appreciated to that guy. Macri, we got a lot of Nets fans in here. There's a lot of them in here, man. A lot of moles in here. There's no Nets fan TV. You know what I mean? So
nor will there ever be because no one will watch.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, man. So
Sorry,
So salute to one young Bale. My guy Brett Alexander sends us a super chat. Salute to Brett. Skrilla sends us a super chat. He said if Frank would have played, he would have stopped Kyrie. Okay. All right. I don't know if he would have done that because, listen, give credit where credit is due.
Kyrie was on one.
And Ari made that point. Kyrie's been great. He looks great. Looks like he's in top shape, and he's killing. He's killing motivated right now. He's definitely motivated. CP the artist sends us a super chat. He said it's only 2 games. Relax.
There we go.
There we go. The voice of reason, people. The voice of reason. All right, let's take 2 more, and then we'll wrap up for the night. Everybody in the chat, please hit that like button, hit that thumbs up button. It goes a long way in supporting the show, so we would definitely appreciate it. Let's go to our guy Nate from Rochester. He wants to talk about the game. Nate, how you feeling, bro?
Yeah, what's up, man? Everybody kind of talked about the game, so I think I'll just talk about tomorrow. But first, I would refund that guy super chat. I'm not taking any money, like pity money. That's
like,
hey, we appreciate the love, man.
Get that out of here.
Trust me, the Nets fan is not all the way in Brooklyn, man. Trust me, man. They're always looking at us with the peripherals, man. Trust me. So I don't mind it. I appreciate the support, man.
I mean, it is money, but anyway. So about tomorrow's game. There's like something, because I've been a don't fire Fizdale guy, but tomorrow is like, that's something that is definitely going to affect my opinion on him, and it's if he doesn't play Frank or not. And I say it because
interesting.
If we look at the Team USA team, which is half of them were Celtics, and Frank played his best game there. He locked up Kemba Walker.
That is a great point.
And Kemba Walker's been shooting like garbage in the season so far. And he didn't do good against Frank then. So if we let Kemba Walker get going and Frank doesn't get a shot at him, then it's like, I don't know about this deal, man. Because like, that's nuts. And I'm going to speak for Macri here. I don't want to go too long, but I think DSJ, man, he's not a good player. Like, we can just conclude to it. You know you want Frank to play over him. Can I say that? Because you can't say that on the podcast. Because nice to just play. I don't know.
Let me be very,
very
clear. I'm not gonna. People know me. I don't lie. I don't go back on what I said. The night that Dennis Smith Jr. was drafted, the moment he gave his post-draft interview and he quoted his stats, that literally the first words out of his mouth after he got drafted, he quoted his stats from that god-awful NC State team that he mailed in that season. I'm like, oh, God, this is what this guy's going to be in the NBA. And then we saw, a year and a half worth of him. And then I came here, and I'm like, maybe he just needed a change of scenery. Maybe the guy that's had his ass kissed for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, however long it's been, and a team gave up on him. Maybe that would have been enough. And I felt like we saw some decent signs from him last season, and we also saw some really troubling signs. And there was a lot of look. Go scour any of my podcasts, any of my Twitter, anything I've written. There was a lot of Dennis Smith Jr. is going to make the leap next year. I never got in on any of it for a reason. Is because I just had a bad feeling in my gut. And I just I couldn't put my finger on it. All that said, does that mean he's bad? I just think he's in his own head right now.
Yes,
and I don't know. I don't know if this is the organization to get him out of his head. I don't know if he needs to hit more rock bottom before he gets out of his head. But there's just, I mean, the guy, there's too much talent there. Maybe I'm wrong.
This
I
is
don't
why.
know.
This is why I chose him as a starter. It wasn't off of logic. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't think he was going to be the best fit with RJ and the pieces they were putting out there.
Mm-hmm.
I just hoped that he would take that leap. I just hoped that he would get it together between the ears, physically, and just be that guy that you feel. You know, everybody sees that he has a potential. But now, like you said, man, I think it's between the ears now, man, because
it's completely.
It just seems like he's thinking about every move. He wants to be the facilitating point guard. He wants to get his jump shot right, and now he just doesn't know what to do.
Yeah. It's funny because I feel like him. It's funny because I feel like him and Frank now have the same problem, but it comes out in different ways. Like I'm dead serious.
Real talk.
I'm dead serious.
Can I say something about Frank?
Yeah, good.
Look, everybody knows Frank's my boy. The reason I'm not as vocal is because I'm just convinced the organization is now at the point where they're not going to give him the time of day unless he overtly forces their hand, not shows a sign here and there. I think they were waiting last year for a sign here and there. I think they've now moved to the next stage of DEFCON or whatever, and they're like, if he makes us play him, we will play him. And that's why it was so annoying that I know it was only 2 plays, and one of the turnovers was not really his fault because Marcus Morris was not where he should have been. But besides that, it's just, you know, I just wish I just don't think he's going to get the chance here. So
doesn't seem like it, man.
Doesn't seem like it.
I hope I'm wrong.
Doesn't seem like it for a coach that prided himself in defense, Jay Ellis. I mean, like I said, I understand the offensive. I'm trying to put a good word to it. I understand the lack. The lack of offense from him. But I mean, tonight, on a night like tonight, where we're just getting ran through in the first half, I mean, I throw him out there as a speed bump at the very least. I think he could have done a better job.
He plays well against the Nets, by the way.
And he plays well against the Nets, man. So I don't know, JLs. Where are you going with that?
I think he's going to play tomorrow. I think he's going to play well just because.
The Kemba stopper. Is he the Kemba stopper?
Not even it's back to back. Like I said, back to back. He played RJ like 107 minutes today. So like you can't keep that up. I know he's young, but man, like somebody has to get in. Either Frank or TSJ. Somebody.
Well, let's see the minutes tonight. Randle played 40, damn near. RJ 36, Morris 33. The guards are open. You know, ISO had 23. Peyton had 24. Dennis Smith had 5.
They gonna play ISO at point guard?
No.
Because he did that. I believe he did that for like a stint today.
But I don't. Do you see really Fizz just yo-yoing it like that? Or I don't
know, man. I feel like Fizz is on different missions from last season.
Would you really be shocked?
Huh?
I mean, really. I mean, I gotta be straight here. Would anybody really be shocked if neither Dennis Smith Jr. or Frank didn't get off the bench tomorrow?
True.
Would you be shocked? I wouldn't be.
True indeed, man. We'll see how it rolls. All right, let's go last call of the night. And Nate, appreciate the call. Let's go to who's going to be the closer tonight. The closer of the night is going to be. Oh, I'm just going in order. Kevin from New Jersey. You're the closer, man. Make it good, bro.
I feel like that song by Vanessa Williams, "Saving the Best for Last."
All right.
I like that song.
Okay. All right.
I like
it. Yeah. This is a pleasure, man. Because I talked to you on Twitter and everything.
This is Kevin. Kevin who? McLeod?
Yes.
Oh, what up, Kev?
Oh, what's up, man? know you.
Hey, how you feeling, guys? Man, this is I'm in heaven right now.
All good, man. Welcome to the show, man.
Welcome,
glad
man.
to have you on, man.
It's great to talk to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all, answering my tweets and everything. It's really cool. Real quick, with regards to tonight, I have no problem with what Fizz, is doing. I wish you talk about the president of the Frank Ntilikina fan club. I'm the vice president, and Jonathan knows this too.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that tomorrow that I would sit DSJ and give those minutes to Frank just for tomorrow, just to see where Frank is at and everything. Because you're right, he is under a microscope. But for Fizdale, I just want him just to develop some plays for Kevin Knox and for an Alonzo Trier, because those are shots. I mean, the way Kevin Knox is hitting the three, I mean, oh my God! I mean, it is.
Kev needs to be out there.
It's monumental.
I love what we're seeing from Kev right now.
That's a fact.
Yeah, absolutely. But other than that, I can't get rid of Fizdale after 10 games and all that. I think the Knicks jersey out of the whole NBA is probably the heaviest jersey out of all the teams.
That's a fact.
Because
it is.
Because we demand excellence, and we're New York. That's pretty much it. That's the reason why Kyrie and Durant went to Brooklyn, because they don't want this. They don't want the wait. They don't want the wait. There's certain players that I think the players that we have now, I think they can take that weight, and we just got to give them time. I mean, there are 9 new players added to 5 players that we had. That's our young core.
That's 6 years.
And I'm gonna tell you right now. I had a conversation with Rick Mahorn a couple of days ago on Sirius XM.
Mm-hmm.
He asked me. He said, "Whose team?" Yeah, he said, "Whose team is this? Whose team is it?" You know what? I think it's going to be RJ's within a few months. That's
Easily.
how confident I am in this kid.
Easily.
This kid is nice.
Yeah.
It might not.
So that's pretty much.
Yeah, it's pretty much there, man.
No,
Tomorrow.
It's pretty much there.
I really, if they know what's good for them, and when I say they, I mean the players on this team.
Mm-hmm.
The players on this team know what's good for them. I think they'll turn over the keys sooner rather than later. I hope so, at least.
Yep. We all see it.
J. Ellis, that was your bold prediction, man.
Yep. In preseason.
By the way,
that was your bold prediction.
If people are watching my eyes looking, I'm looking up when is the last time, and I don't know actually that it's ever happened.
Patrick Ewing.
A rookie led the league in minutes per game.
Yeah. When was it?
I haven't found one. So LeBron and Larry Johnson, who, if you're talking about body types, RJ is not that far off from either. I mean, there's only one LeBron, obviously, but both of those guys led the league in minutes per game in their second seasons. I'm still looking back. I'll keep digging. Maybe before we get off. I'm sure Wilt did it. That much. Yeah, Wilt.
All right.
I'm seeing if there's a more recent one.
All right, let's go one more. Let's go to Raekwon from the Bronx. He wants to touch on the team in general. Raekwon, you're the closer, man. We go one more for Friday night. Man. Go ahead.
Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, man. Close it out. Raekwon's been consistent, and Raekwon the Chef was one of my favorite members of Wu-Tang. So yeah, go ahead, man. Go ahead. You're the closer.
Yeah, CPJLS. Yeah, guys. So let's talk about the positives, right? So I like how Knox and Trier, they came in, they were balling out, and then I think what really cost us the game was. I'm going to say RJ and Randle, because if you watch, like when we're up 109 to 106, RJ, he went to the free throw line, but he missed, he missed that shot that would have put us up by 4.
Yeah.
Then Kyrie got the momentum, and then Randle at the last play, you seen that Randle, he kind of, fumbled the ball, turning over on the last possession. But one last thing that I want to add, CP and J. Ellis, I feel like we should start Wayne Ellington. I'm pulling hard for my boy Wayne Ellington, man. I feel like we should add him into that 2 slot. Maybe try to play RJ at the 3, put Morris at the bench. So I would like to see Alfred Payton, Wayne Ellington, RJ at the 3, Randle at the 4, and then Mitch at the 5. Maybe we could do something with that lineup because we need a consistent 3-point shooter in the lineup, and I feel like Wayne Ellington, he perfectly provides that for us. So maybe Fizz can.
Appreciate it. I just clipped because the connection was kind of choppy, but we got his points. It's interesting. Yeah, go ahead.
I wouldn't be shocked, but I bet if we saw it, it would be with RJ at the 1. If we see it, I could see
RJ at the 1.
Because I just, for the life of me, I don't see him breaking up Randle and Morris.
And
I
don't see it.
I don't know how I feel about that. I should probably feel a certain way. I don't know how it is.
Yeah.
But because that lineup, if you throw again, it's short on ball handling. It's dangerously short on ball.
Mm-hmm.
But you got some shooting there. I don't know.
It's just the issue that's going to happen with this roster. I think for a while going into the season, man, it's going to be hard to find the appropriate 5 that's going to be suitable.
But we were saying that all off season.
All off season, and we're seeing it now, man. Go ahead, JLs.
You know what? Too preseason, the game that Morris sat down, Wayne Ellington started. And I thought that lineup went pretty well.
Yeah, the one with RJ at the 3, Ellington at the 2. I like that.
And I remember even saying that that the ball movement seemed like a lot smoother, and they just like you said, we just boom off to the races.
Mm-hmm.
Was Mitch playing in that lineup? I'm not sure.
He would know.
I think Bobby Portis was playing at that time.
Yeah,
so spacing was good, the movement was good, the passing was good. I felt like that one worked. So maybe we can go maybe. I can see that happening. We'll switch out more Bobby Portis for Mitch and see what happens.
Yes, sir. And on that note, fellas, let's wrap up. Yo, Macri, man, thanks again for joining us. I got the camera on you. Let the people know where you can find them, man. Where they can find you.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for having me on. I was not in the mood to do a podcast today anyway. And I think it was much healthier for my own psyche to be able to come on and talk to you guys after this game. Listen, that's why I do what I do. It's why I write and that's why I podcast. It's to get the demons out. Yeah. So where can you find me? You can find me on Twitter. I am at where am I at? I'm at JC Macri NBA, and then come visit Knicks Film School. Sign up for the Knicks Film School newsletter. It's absolutely free. You can find the link in my Twitter bio or at the top of knicksfilmschool.com. And I'm gonna have a podcast on Sunday. I'll record. We'll do me and Jeremy Coincidence on Twitter. We do a regular Sunday pod now that we're gonna do all year, in which we will touch on the Knicks' first week, and hopefully they will not be 0-3 because that would be annoying.
Macri, appreciate you, man. JL, I'm throwing over to you, man.
All right, man. So I just want to say shout out to Macri for coming on because he's actually pretty good at calming down people.
Yeah, because I was tight, man. I was tight, boy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like, so even though you was going through it, it didn't seem like you was, because you seem like you calling everybody down with your words to begin the show. But anyway, so yeah, Nigga Time Show is officially back. I know we've been out for a long time, but we are back and we are better than ever. Hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, new episode is up, so check that out on youtube.com/Nigga Time Show. For sure, I'll be posting some more clips for you guys, cutting up the 2-hour episodes for short clips so you guys can enjoy. So make sure look out for that. I'll be posting another clip tomorrow morning. So yeah, and also follow me on all social media. The Nigga Time Show on Instagram, the KOT Show on Twitter, and also check out our blog, NiggaTimeShow.com, to catch our latest blogs, other content, and the store, like shirts like the Maple Mamba over here or Mitch over here, and they even got a Scott Perry shirt that says Ninja P. So definitely check that out. That is all. Back to you, CP.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys. And thanks for everybody for tuning in, man. We had over 1,000 people tune in for tonight. I knew this was going to be a big show tonight. That's why I invited Macri on, because
I appreciate it.
I already knew this was going to be a big one. Battle of the City. We lost the first battle, but the war continues, Knicks fans. Do not give up hope. Tomorrow night, KnicksFanTV, the Nick of Time show, Knicks Omni Fan. We invade Madison Square Garden for the home opener. If you guys are going to be in attendance, we'll see you guys at the suite. I'll be there from 5:30 for pregame shoot-around. For you guys that can't make it, tune in to KnicksFanTV. We'll have all the live coverage, pregame, halftime, as well as postgame. You know how we do. Thanks for everybody for tuning in once again. Remember to hit that thumbs up button before you guys go. Subscribe to the channel. If you guys are new in the chat, everybody welcome. Leave us a hashtag new in the video comments below if you missed this show live. Always remember that the show is available in audio podcast format, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, Amazon Alexa, all on the KnicksFanTV. And share these videos. Once again, share these videos to support us. Once again, Knicks lose 113-109. Tough loss, but we're going to bounce back. Let me salute some people. Mike Morgan, thank you. Cochise, France Baldo, thank you. Keith Sinclair, Above the Rim, KnicksFanTV Dave, TM, all the mods. Michael Parker, thanks again for tuning in. JLs, who do you want to shout out, man?
Bleak Skadui, shout out to you. They call me Tack. Shout out to you. Yao Song.
Yao Song, appreciate it.
Always Young Simba guy.
That's the little Lion King outro. I like that.
Yeah. Also JJP NYC, shout out to you as well. And my regulars are all taking over the chat. I see you. Everybody else is in my chat, man.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir. See you guys. Can't wait for the home opener tomorrow, man. We got to get this W against the C's.
Let's get it, man.
Let's get it. Macri, thanks again. JL, see you tomorrow, man.
One more. Derek Shepard, hashtag new. I see you.
Okay. All right. Cool, man. All right, man. See you guys tomorrow night, man. Peace.
Later.